Today I want to talk about 5 things that are aging us pretty rapidly, and these things I hope that you either manage yourself in these areas or you actually think about what you're consuming and how they are impacting your health and impacting your life. So let's dive in. So the first I want to talk about is excess sugar. Now many of you know excess sugar cannot be good for you, or sugar in general is not good for you. Sugar accelerates aging by promoting inflammation as well as the formation of glycation end products, and that damages collagen and elastin. Many of us know that as we age, collagen decreases within our bodies, within our faces. A lot of that can be tied to lack of estrogen. Estrogen and collagen go hand in hand, but in general, as we age, we lose collagen, so this leads to wrinkles and sagging skin. We don't want to exacerbate the effects of normal aging by consuming excess levels of sugar. I also want to mention that high sugar intake can exacerbate or lead to certain illnesses, including prediabetes and diabetes. So please do take this into account. Know that higher blood sugar levels were associated with perceived facial aging. So day to day, as you're consuming your food, your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or you're having a mid-meal snack, to please take into consideration how much sugar you're eating, and you want to really be mindful of that as you move on with your health and fitness journey. The second item on the list that leads to us aging pretty rapidly is stress. Many of you know that chronic stress releases large amounts of cortisol, a stress hormone, and when cortisol is released at high amounts, there's a normal amount of cortisol that is going to be released when we wake up, when we're in the gym, when we have an exam to take. There's a certain amount of cortisol to be released that is expected. However, chronic and consistent amounts of cortisol released from stress, that breaks down collagen. And that collagen, as I just mentioned, is important for our skin to maintain a youthful appearance as well as to repair itself. So this also contributes to inflammation when you have high cortisol levels, and that makes our skin look aged. Research has shown that women with high stress had their telomeres actually shortened by approximately 10 years, which increased accelerated aging. So it's going to be important for many of you women who are watching this, who are stressed, who are going through a lot of things in your life, to figure out a way to find balance. And what that balance looks like, so it's going to be different for each and every individual. It might be what you're dealing with at the current moment. It might be who you're dealing with at the current moment. But I want to encourage you to really sit down and evaluate your situation so that it's not overbearing and doing more harm for you, for your life. Stress can really have a negative impact on the lives of people, especially women, when women are the caretakers of the world. So I do want you to consider and do an evaluation of what you're dealing with and how you're going to improve your situation. The third item on the list that I want to talk about is alcohol. Alcohol is a carcinogen. It is a known carcinogen. Alcohol also dehydrates the skin, reducing skin elasticity, and it also damages the liver, which impairs the body's ability to detoxify. Liver is the organ that takes care of everything we consume orally. So it's a first pass effect where anything we consume orally passes through the liver, bypasses through the liver before it can be segmented off to different areas of the body, whether it's going to be excreted or absorbed and used for the body or released from the body. The liver is what is impacted first. Now, over time, if you are consuming alcohol, you are going to be experiencing oxidative stress, inflammation, premature aging of both the skin and internal organs. And the Journal of American Medical Association has also shown that excessive alcohol consumption increases the risk of facial redness, puffiness, and fine lines. So that's something you really want to take into consideration, is that these things that you're consuming in the long run don't really have a beneficial impact on your life. And I do want to mention my carcinogen statement. That's the latest research I read was out of the Menopause Society, which they've also shown that alcohol is a carcinogen and has effects on women and the incidence of breast cancer. Now, the fourth item on the list that ages you pretty rapidly is fried food. Now, fried foods are high in trans fats and oxidized oils, which promote systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging the skin as well as the internal organs. In a recent video, I talked about how we in our culture are still still used to frying our food, whether it be our fried french fries or meats or fish or anything of that nature. And I want to encourage you watching that if you haven't watched the video on whether we need to forget our culture of food or not, to watch it, because no, we don't need to forget our culture. We should never forget our culture, especially the good parts of our culture, but we need to try and figure out alternatives to keep us healthy in the long run, because the foods that we're consuming aren't necessarily the foods that our ancestors were consuming. So it's going to be important for you to take that into consideration. Also know that fried food, why it ages us is because it also impairs collagen production. That collagen is really important, and it leads to a dull and aged appearance. Now, some of you might be thinking, I talk a lot about collagen. Should I be supplementing with collagen? I say sure, why not? I take collagen. I put it in maybe my breakfast oatmeal, and I'll put the amounts here. I'm thinking it's 40 grams per day, but the amount that one should be taking might be recommended to you on an individual basis, so I can't really recommend the collagen intake per day right now, but I will find that information and I will add it on to the video. But do consider supplementing with collagen as well. I don't think it can be harmful unless you have an issue why you can't take collagen, but yes, please put that into consideration. Now, the fifth thing that ages you pretty rapidly is lack of movement. Lack of movement or physical inactivity, slow circulation. It reduces the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your cells, which also accelerates skin aging and muscle loss. Now, muscle loss is really important for you, especially if you're over the age of 30. Lack of exercise also contributes to chronic inflammation and metabolic disorders that hasten aging. So if you're not active, if you don't move, if you don't have a routine that's set up for you, you need to implement one, especially if you are able-bodied and you don't have any illnesses that are preventing you from moving, physically and being active. Moving can be good for your body, but it can also help some of you with your mental states and being able to get out of, I would say, like a depressive state or a sad state or pondering or overthinking state. So do consider that physical activity can be beneficial for you on many levels. So right now, as you're watching this video, you're the youngest you'll ever be. So I want to encourage you to look into the things that I'm talking about and implement something. Do it slowly but surely into your life. Take one thing off the list that is not good for you, alcohol, fatty, fried foods, and start implementing things that are good for you. It could be the exercise. It could be a low-calorie diet. It could be, things that are just it could be a hobby, implementing a hobby that gets you thinking and active and moving. And yeah, do take that into consideration as you're, working on living a healthy and long life. So leave a comment below to talk about one thing that you have removed or implemented that is slowing down the aging process for you. And yeah, share that in the comments below. And I do thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.